Okay. So I'm also recording my screen. So don't worry, I will edit everything out and I will upload this video to YouTube as well. And are you guys seeing this straight or reversed? This is so weird, right? Everything gets like a mirror imaged in Google Meet. Okay, let's see how to do this. Change layout. Okay, this is better. Okay, so where's my keynote? Should we begin?
Yes.
Okay. All right. A window. That's nice. And here we have the window. And play in window. All righty. Can you guys see everything clearly? Hmm? All right, here we go. Hi there. Hello. I've just started. Don't worry, you haven't missed out on anything.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, how are you?
Good, ma'am. How are you?
Good, good, good. I'm glad to see you here.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, now I will request everybody to just put your, your thing on mute so that we are not disturbed by the sounds in your background. Thank you. And there will be question and answer session at the end of this whole thing. So whatever questions you have, I request you to please just maybe note it down, and we can ask the questions at the end. Okay? All right. So let's begin. I hope everyone can see everything clearly. If you cannot, then just unmute your mic and let me know. If you can, then I'm just going to continue. Okay? Let me manage my screens a little bit. All right, here we go. So, we are going to talk about how you can decipher reversed tarot card meanings. This is like a continuation of the webinar I did the last Thursday. And if you guys have not watched it, I know all of you have watched it or have attended it. So, but this is for the people who are maybe watching the recording. Please go ahead and watch that previous one because this is like a continuation. And so we are going to today talk about tarot cards that show up reversed in readings. And we are all always like, most people have a lot of fear to do with reverse cards, although I personally feel that there is no need to be scared. And today I'm going to explain why. It's good. It's really simple. You don't have to be worried and scared of reverse cards. We are today going to learn simple tools and techniques to decipher the meanings of reverse tarot cards and to interpret them in a question and in a spread position. Just like the last time, it's the techniques are pretty much the same, just a few additions. Okay, so we are really just building on what we have learned in the last webinar. Okay, and I guess all of you already know a little bit about me, so I'm going to breeze through this section. I had created this section for new people. So those of you who do not know me or who have known about me may have seen my website, TaroticallySpeaking.com. I write there, I blog there, I offer my services there. I am a professional tarot reader and a mentor. And I have been reading tarot cards for nearly 15 years now, since the year 2006. I also read Lenormand cards, and just so you guys know, I'm going to be teaching a webinar on Lenormand cards. That's going to be a paid webinar, and if you guys are interested, the information is on my social, so you can go on my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I don't know if I've posted on Twitter, but at least on Instagram, the information is there, so you can or you can email me and I'll send out the information to you. The webinar is starting on the 20th of July, so next week. Okay. But I use Lenormand cards in my readings as well. So, and I have also written a book called Tarot Reading Using Storytelling Techniques, which is available on Amazon. And like you can see, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. The point is, if you want to reach out to me, I'm there. You can always get in touch with me, and I will always try to help out the best I can. Okay, so, and a few things before we begin this webinar, just some simple rules. Okay, you guys need to participate, be respectful, be helpful, share, and there is a Q&A session at the end, so stay till the end. That's where we're going to do a lot of practice and have fun. Okay, we are going to learn how to interpret any reverse tarot card image in a way that is intuitive, within the context of a question, within a specific spread position, and this is very systematic and very creative, right? And in order to approach this learning process, in a very, very childlike manner, I will encourage you to do this. Be open to what comes, have a childlike approach, because we are going to be very, very playful in our learning process. And the more playful you are, the more imaginative you are, the more you embrace this whole process with curiosity, the more the cards are going to open up to you. And this was there even in the previous webinar. As I said, anything to do with tarot, you access it with your, you engage with this with your heart, mind, soul, openly. Whatever comes, just accept it. I don't know, maybe it's a little off topic, but as a tarot card reader, you are merely a messenger, a translator, right? You are just translating the information that is coming through the cards and delivering it to the client. That's all your job is. So just be open, right? So you will get the best and most information. So, with that being said, let's directly face our fears, right? Let's look the reverse tarot cards in the face and understand why they are important. What is the point of their presence in our reading? All right. So, reverse tarot cards. First and foremost, let go of your preconceived notions. All right. We are told, oh, reverse tarot cards, my God, it's difficult. It's not, right? We have the same issue with court cards as well. And next Thursday, I'm going to do the webinar on court cards. So be sure to attend. But it's the same thing. We have preconceived notions. People have said, oh my God, upright tarot cards are so tough. And now we have to do reversed also. Arre baapre, everybody is scared. There is no point in being scared. Okay? The thing is, you should not be, and you don't have to be afraid of them or avoid them, because these cards reflect life, right? Cards are a reflection of life itself, and life can and often is upside down, right? We all know this. We all have gone through ups and downs in our life, and sometimes situations in life are, well, upside down, right? Instead of looking at those cards or those situations as troublesome situations, get inspired by the Hanged Man, right? Get inspired by the Hanged Man card. This is the quintessential original reversed card. This guy in the card is reversed even when the card is upright. What does that tell you? And what is this card all about? He's all about seeing a different perspective. So when this is the guidance that even the cards tell us, right? When life throws us a curveball, when we're caught in a different situation which we had not anticipated, when things just don't go as you've planned, what do? Instead of getting all worked up, the cards are like, take a moment. Maybe you're in the Hanged Man, maybe everything is upside down, but you know what? That's a different point of view. That's a different perspective. Take a breath, see what's happening. And even in that upside down weird world, you might just see a way. And that is exactly what reverse cards are all about. They show up, right? They show up in our readings to make you look. Ta-da! Right? What happens when you open a spread and there's a reversed card in there? That's the first thing you notice. You're like, oh my God, look, this card is reversed, right? All the other cards may be upright, and then all you notice is that reverse card. And that, my friends, is the absolutely precise function that these cards perform. They make you look, they grab your attention, they pull you towards them, and they show you that, hey, look here, something is not quite right over here. This is the area where there's a problem going on. All right, and that is the absolute function of the reverse tarot cards. In fact, in a spread, their presence can tell a lot. Okay, so for instance, in a spread, if there are no reversed cards, you can say, okay, everything seems to be, just by the face of it, everything seems to be going okay. Even if there are negative cards in there, we don't really get all worked up. We're like, okay, so there's a few negative situations, but overall everything seems fine. Let's say in a spread there's just like one reversed card. Then you're like, okay, it's just this one spot where there's something not quite right. Okay. What if there are more reversed cards than upright cards? Doesn't that tell you something? Right? It makes you notice, it makes you realize that, hey, whatever we are looking at in this spread, in this whole situation, with a lot more reverse cards, you definitely know there's a whole lot going on which is not in the right direction, or there's a lot of fixing that needs to be done here. Comparatively, if in a spread you have, just less reverse cards, then you're like, okay, maybe there's only so much that needs to be fixed, or so much where there are problems, and you can look at that, right? So their presence, how much they show up in a spread, all of that matters. So I encourage you not to run away from them, but look at them as a marker of something not right. They are a marker, especially in a spread. One second. So, especially in a spread, these reverse cards perform the function of being a marker of something's wrong and how much of something is wrong. Okay, so that is very, 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 very important. They play a very important role. So, what is the key to interpreting these reverse tarot cards? I have a simple set of rules that you can apply to a tarot card that'll help you interpret it, especially when it comes up reversed. Okay, so see right here, Nine of Swords is the quintessential upright card, but it is not a very pleasant upright card, isn't it? That's kind of my point, that not all upright cards are pleasant. You do have some cards which are quite unpleasant when they are upright. So, when you're interpreting your tarot cards, the key to interpreting, especially when they are reversed, is you need to see that whatever is happening in the reversed card could be the opposite of the upright card. It is blocked. There could be delays. There could be hurdles, and it needs work. Let me see if I can bring it up again. Okay, so for instance, this is your Nine of Swords, right? If we remember what we learned the last time, we can look at this card and say, oh my God, he's got so much going on, all those swords on top of his head, he's got all these worries, and he's maybe crying or worried, he's anxious, it looks like he's in bed and he can't sleep. So he's having worries, he's having anxieties, and he is deeply, deeply troubled, right? That is the very simple meaning of the Nine of Swords, okay? So now let's look at the interpretation keys. What happens when this card becomes reversed, right? Let's apply key number 1, the opposite, right? What happens? It's the total opposite of what we saw in the upright situation. So now he will not be anxious anymore. He will not be worried anymore. He will not have too many troubles anymore. That is great, isn't it? What about blocks, right? That happens, you're like, okay, so, his anxiety is blocked. That's kind of good, isn't it? He's blocked from being anxious. Or we can say delays. So he's going to be anxious, but there are delays in this. So again, I would encourage you at this point to apply common sense and see which of these will make sense in an interpretation, because obviously blocks and delays doesn't really make sense here, right? Hurdles, again, same thing. There are hurdles to being anxious and needs work. We're going to come back to that, but again, it means basically that you need to put in some work before the upright thing can happen. So maybe he needs to get more anxious, or he needs to have more worries before he can get anxious. I'm just being very literal with my interpretation here in this one. But like I said, and the reason I'm doing that is to show you that, okay, all these keys are there, but you need to know which key opens the lock, because you can't just put all the keys in the lock. For that, you need to apply common sense. But these are your keys that you can apply. Okay, it's either the opposite of the upright meaning, or it can show that there are blocks in whatever is happening. It can show there are delays or hurdles in whatever is happening, and you need to put in some work before the upright meaning can actually happen. Okay, so here's a quick refresher for those who missed out on the upright cards webinar. The simple techniques to interpret a tarot card in a reading spread: first and foremost, see and feel the image, answer the question, and you know look at the card in a spread position. So this right here is the Four of Wands, right? You look at this image, you're like, oh wow, look at this. It seems like there's a castle and there's a nice party. And I know, in the days of COVID and all of us sheltering at home, it seems like a distant memory. But let's just come back to the card. We're like, oh look, looks like there's a celebration of some sort. There's a party going on. And look at these two. They seem to be waving flowers and inviting us into their celebration. Okay, and that is the meaning of this card. This card exactly actually means celebrations and parties and that sort of joyful events. So now, in order to answer different questions or in a spread position, we will take this meaning and look at the bigger context. And if you want to go deeper, we have simple tools which involve looking at the symbols present within the card. So you can say, oh, what do these wands mean? Oh, what do these particular flowers mean? What is the meaning of the grapes in there? And you really can get into that. Or what is the meaning of the castle in the background, right? What meanings do these symbols bring into the picture? And you can go and become, do some creative storytelling. I'm gonna hang on for 1 second. Krishna, you've written here that you can't see my screen. Can you still not see my screen? PPT is still on first slide? Really? How about now? Still on first slide or still? How weird is this? Every single time we run into some technical issues, don't we? How weird. Let me stop presenting. Let me see what I can do, what happens. Okay, can you guys see my face now? Yes, okay. All right, so let me try. Okay. All right. Can you see the PPT now?
Yeah, now we can see. Interpreting reverse type.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you didn't see any of the slides?
No.
Oh my God. That is so bad. I'm so sorry about this. Okay, but luckily I have been recording the screen, so you guys can go back and maybe see that little bit of the video up until this point. But okay, before I proceed, then was there any part which you guys found difficult to understand, or if there was any questions, please go right ahead. I'll answer your questions before I proceed, or everything is okay so far. Just let me know in the chat, or just unmute and let me know. All good? All good. Okay. All right. Okay. So if you have any questions, just message me on the chat, okay? And if you can't see the PPT, let me know, okay? Because I have it on another screen. I mean, I have it on the one corner of my screen here. So if you're sending me a message, I will see it, okay? All right. So coming back to our presentation, you can see this, right? Okay. I hope you can see this. If not, let me know. So we're going to use literally the same technique that we applied for the upright card, and we're just going to add a few more things, and then we're going to do the reverse card. Okay, so what we learned in the previous webinar, there's just this one basic step: see and feel the tarot card image. So you look at the card, you describe it, you watch for your reactions from your body, from your mind, whatever, and you just express what you're feeling and thinking. So let's do this exercise with this Three of Pentacles card. I see there's a building that's being constructed. It looks like a stone building that's being constructed, and there are three people in here. It seems like there's a priest, and then there's a guy in that red cloak, and he looks like he has some sort of a drawing of this building, so he could, maybe be the architect or the planner. And then of course we have the guy with the hammer and the chisel, the sculptor, who is actually working. So it's like all of these people have got together and they're giving instructions to the sculptor, and he is actually building that building for them, right? And that is the meaning of this card. So when all these different things come together, maybe planning, the spiritual blessing, and the actual action, then there is manifestation. That is the, sort of meaning of this card. So now what happens is, if you want to figure out the reverse meaning, turn the card upside down and apply the keys, the appropriate keys for doing this. So the complete opposite of the upright is things are not really manifesting because you're not being able to get all your resources and your plans and your actions together, right? Nothing seems to be working. Or there could be blocks. Maybe you don't have the plan. Maybe you don't have the resources. Maybe you're not getting your supply of raw material. Whatever it is, there are blocks due to which the work is not moving forward. Or there could be delays. The work is getting delayed for one reason or the other. Or there are hurdles. Blocks, delays, hurdles, it's kind of overlapping, but sometimes these little things do make a difference. Or there are hurdles, right? Or you need to maybe put in some more work. So what does that mean? So in this particular card, you could say, oh, maybe you need to work on refining the plan a little bit better. Or maybe the sculptor needs to perfect his craft a little bit better. And so that those could be the things that are creating hurdles in the progress of the construction of this building. Simple? Just apply the keys. So be sure you learn these words: opposites, blocks, delays, hurdles, needs work. These are the keys for interpreting reverse cards. Let's take this to the next step. Let's answer a question, right? Again, the process is very simple, just like the previous one. You say your question and you apply your interpretation to answer that question. So this is where it gets intriguing, right? Because at first you're just looking at the card by itself. Now you have to look at it within the context of the question. Hmm? So let's say the first question: how can I find a better job? Let me reverse this card though. All right. So how can I find a better job? Well, if you pull this card in the reverse, you might want to say, hey, wait a minute. There seem to be some delays here, and the reason I'm not able to maybe find the better job is because I need to, that needs work interpretation comes into play for me here. I need to maybe gather my resources better. Maybe I need to work on my resume. Maybe I need to, make it a little bit better, make it a little bit more attractive, make it a little bit more presentation. So that might help me. Also, preparation, right? Because here we are gathering our resources and making things happen. So maybe you have your resume and everything worked out, but you are not applying for jobs, or you need to apply for better jobs, right? So all of these, yes, update your skills. Good, correct. So these are the things you need to work on and you will find a better job, right? Simple. How about the next question? How will my relationship be like? How about you guys? Anybody unmute and tell me, how do you apply this reverse card for this question? Come on, come on.
You need to work on your relationship, give some more time to it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You need to get some resources together. You need to maybe make some plans, build something together.
You need to be emotional, caring, kind.
How does that come in from the image, Krishna? Go ahead, tell me.
That's the reverse thing, ma'am. I was telling you.
Okay, okay. Shagun says the relationships need your input. Okay, okay, all right. So, see, understand, pentacles are practical, right? Pentacles energy is very practical and grounded. So, it does contain emotions, it does contain other things. And yes, if you want to apply that reverse three of pentacles meaning for the relationship question, then definitely yes, you need to work on your relationship. You need to emotionally invest in this relationship. You need to put a lot of things into this relationship to make it work, right? How about this third question? What should I do to feel better? Let's say you ask this question and you pull the three of pentacles reversed. I look at this question, at this card, and I'm like, okay, maybe you have all the things that are going to help you be better or feel better, but you're not using it, right? You're blocking yourself from actually manifesting the better feeling by not really using all the resources you have at hand. You guys agree? Disagree? I'm gonna take. Okay. All right. Okay. Agreed. Okay. Cool. So now let's look at how you can interpret this card in a spread position. Spread positions, as we've seen previously. Yes, thank you, Krishna. Spread positions will give you also context. So you have past, present, future, all those spread positions. And here's your card, the Three of Pentacles. Let me reverse it. So, in the past, if this card shows up, then you're like, okay, you need to, you in the past, you hadn't, there were some delays maybe with your work because of, maybe the resources didn't come together. If this card comes up in the present, you can say, oh, things are not going according to plan because maybe, you're not working on it. And in the future, obviously, you'll say, oh, you'll plan and you'll do this and you'll do that. But if you're not going to work on it, it will not actually manifest. If this card comes up reversed in the guidance or advice position, you should basically look at this as a warning, right? You're like, look, you've got everything going and you can make it happen, but you are not working on it. You're not putting it together. Well, the guidance is you need to put your resources to use, act upon it, and it will happen. But let's say this card comes up reverse and the hurdles or obstacle position. Then you're like, okay, the biggest hurdle is the fact that you're not working on it. You're not working according to the plan. You see where I'm going with this? In the reverse, also, just take that meaning and apply it to that context, and you have got things going. Okay? So, again, reverse card is just a derivation of the meaning of the upright card, and you just apply the key opposite, blocks, delays, hurdles, and needs work. Just apply any of these keys to the meaning of the upright card for getting the meaning of the reverse card, and you're good to go, right? And you do the same process as you would do for the upright card in terms of interpretation, and it's pretty much done. There you go. You can also have the same tools that we studied last time to apply for the reverse cards. And you go deeper, you can look at the symbols, you can see what those symbols mean. You can then say, oh, how does that add to your card's meaning, right? For instance, in this Three of Cups card, you would look at the say the pineapple on the bottom, what's that, right, of the card. Now pineapple, I'm sorry, it's a pumpkin, my mistake. Pumpkin. Pumpkin is actually a fruit that symbolizes harvest. Okay, pumpkins, usually you will see them, Halloween time, if you remember. That's around about October. That is the beginning of fall, and that is the time of harvest. So that's why pumpkins are associated with harvest. Even if you look, one of them is having grapes, and then there are fruits and stuff in the background. So grapes, fruits, all of these signify fruitfulness, joy, happiness, right? Success and harvest, a plentiful harvest. So they could be celebrating a plentiful harvest. Okay, they could be gathering together and having a drink, and they're celebrating their joy, their happiness, their friendship. So this card, the Three of Cups, typically, now that you have the meaning of all these symbols, that just adds into it, because normally you'll be like, okay, here's a group of people coming together, having a drink and celebrating and having a good time. But now, why are they having a good time? They could be celebrating the success of their, I don't know, venture, right? They have a good harvest, they have a successful outcome, and that's what they're celebrating. So now the meaning is added onto it. But when you are going reverse, you say, oh, what could be going on here? Look at the celebration. Did the harvest not happen like they wanted it to happen? Was it not a good harvest that's putting a damper on this celebration? Right? Is the celebration turning sour, maybe because not everybody likes the result of all their hard work? What could be blocking this celebration? Or maybe they decided to get together, but some or the other problems. Yes, Gayatri, social distancing. That is so appropriate, right? Social distancing. So they wanted to get together and celebrate, but they couldn't because social distancing. And so now everybody is in their own place, and like us, we are all in the virtual setting and getting together and sort of learning, celebrating, all of that, gathering together, right? So apply the keys and you have the meaning, and so the symbols, everything sort of gets into it. Go, just take it very naturally. Don't make it out to be some great thing that you're doing. Reverse cards are not like, mm, they're not like you have to climb a great mountain and get onto the other side. Yeah, they just take the card, reverse it. Okay, this is the meaning. All right, fine. Take it light. Okay? And of course, what's the story? That's also the uh, second tool that can help you go deeper. So you take the same thing, same image that we studied earlier, the Three of Cups, and you describe it like it was a scene from a movie, and then you reverse it, and then the meaning changes, and then the story changes. So let me see if I can come up with a story on the spot here. Oh yeah, let's do social distancing, right? Or so we all decided to get together and celebrate because we hadn't met in a long time, and we all wanted to sort of sit down, chat, talk about all the things, reminisce about the good times, all the nice memories, this and that. But then suddenly COVID happened, so now we couldn't get together. There was a block, there was a hurdle. Then we couldn't get together, we couldn't meet up anywhere. So we decided to do a Zoom conference or a Google Meet, and sit in our own homes and uh, sort of chat and talk and gossip. But obviously, it's not the same thing. But I guess it all depends on how you're seeing it, right? So just made up a story on the spot, guys. But see, that's how you just see it for what it is instead of making a big deal of the reverse card, and just go with the flow and you'll have your meaning. Okay? So don't be afraid of the reverse cards. Alrighty. So in summary, in order to interpret a reversed card, you basically just apply the techniques. You see and feel the image, you apply the reverse card interpretation key, and answer the question whether, or look at the card in a spread position. So here we have the Six of Wands reversed. Essentially, upright, this card is all about, this guy leading his team towards success. Reverse is he's unable to lead, the opposite. Hmm? Or there could be some issues with him leading his team towards success, the blocks. Or maybe he's leading them, but it's taking a while, the delays, hurdles, right? There are some problems maybe within the team that are creating hurdles, and that's why he's unable to lead his team towards success and needs work. So I think if you guys are noticing, there's an overlap. It's not like, okay, it's kind of the same meaning. With some cards there is an overlap. With some cards it's just, maybe sometimes the meanings are different, but mostly there's an overlap. And that's because it kind of works that way. Okay? So he needs to put in the work, he needs to make the extra effort to get his team together on the same page so that he can effectively lead them towards success. So that's what he needs to do to take the card upright again. Okay? So these are the simple ways and the simple tools, obviously, to better understand a reverse tarot card image is to look at the symbols and make the story, right? There's a lot of these laurel wreaths in there. Those mean success. Those are a very, very old Roman symbol for success. So that's the whole point of this card, isn't it? And in the reverse, obviously, the success is delayed, or there are hurdles in that success, obviously. Okay, so if you guys want more, I'm going to be doing a little bit of self promotion here. My book, Tarot Card Reading Using Storytelling Techniques, is available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle versions. In that, I do go way deeper into the card story and reading story technique. And I have a section on reversed cards in there as well. So I definitely encourage you to check this book out, because I do go get into the card story for reversed cards, and there's a whole journey mapped out for all the cards. All the cards are discussed, reversed cards, upright cards, everything is discussed in there. And I also have a PDF guide on my website that you can buy from there, And in there, you have the symbol meanings, contextual keywords, the quote card personality traits, which is something we'll see next Thursday, and numerological associations of the cards for both upright and reversed. So you know this is very, very detailed. This is really, this is probably the most detailed. These are my notes kind of in a very tabulated format, to be honest. So you can definitely check this out. I have a few sample pages available for free download, so you can download it from there and see if you like it, then you can buy it. Okay, so we are now at the midpoint, I would say, of our webinar, because here's where we are going to practice. This is the real thing, because whatever we have learned so far, we are going to have to practice now, which is great. And here are the questions. Again, let me give you in the chat, 1 second. I have created a downloadable, where is it? A downloadable handout for you, and it's on Dropbox, and I'm just putting the link, the download link, in the chat box. I hope you guys can see it. Just go ahead and download that. So all these questions are in there. All of these questions are in that downloadable. Just download it so you can have it on your computer or on your device. You can keep looking at it. So I'm going to now step out of this presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention. And we are going to actually now do practice. So stop presenting. Where are we? Can you see me? All right, cool. So let me close the presentation. Okay, let me know when you guys have downloaded the handout so that you have the questions on your screen. I'll open it on my screen as well. And here we are. Oh, it's in the chat. Did everybody get the link? Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. I'm going to look at my cards. Mix them all up. All right, let me know when you guys are ready, and we will practice with a few questions, okay? Okay, guess what? I'm gonna mix up my cards, and I'm gonna start pulling random cards. Let's see what comes. Okay, we're gonna practice it. Like, I'll pull a card, okay, because looks like you guys aren't ready. So I'll pull a card, and we'll tackle a random question from the list of the questions, and or a spread position from the list of the spread positions that is there. And we'll see how this goes. Alrighty, so what should I do? What should I do? Okay, how about What challenges do I face on my spiritual path? Seriously, I got the 10 of Pentacles reversed. So let's see what this means. Come on, guys, help me out here. Okay? What challenges do I face on my spiritual path? And the card I ended up pulling is 10 of Pentacles reversed. So, how would you interpret this? I will request you guys to unmute yourself at this point, okay, and start talking. I don't mind. Let's start talking. Share your thoughts. It's easier to talk than type, I suppose. I will spend more. Okay, Gayatri, yeah, sure. I don't know how I will spend more, but how is that related to my spiritual path? Shagun, I'm sorry I left my deck over there. So you use your Osho Zen cards, you pull a card and you tell me what your interpretation would be. Pull a different card if you feel like. And unmute your mic and talk to me. It's easier this way than typing, isn't it? That way your hands are free, you can pull cards, you can talk to me, I can talk to you. That's the whole point of this Google Meet thing, right? We can now talk to each other. So tell me, either help me interpret the card that I pulled or you pull a card and interpret it for me. Whatever works.
Hello, Madhavi, Smita here.
Hi, Smita.
Madhavi, you pulled 10 of Pentacles reversed, and your question was what are the hurdles in your spiritual journey, right?
Right.
So, it may be your family may not support you financially.
Mm. Okay, that's a good interpretation. Yes, because this card is also about family support, right? This is this 10 of Pentacles upright is a card that talks about a family that is also financially and emotionally well bonded, right? So reversed, obviously there is a hurdle, correct? Financial
Or,
hurdles.
or can it be like your staff may not be as loyal as you think to you?
Yep. Okay, but how does that affect my spiritual path?
In your spiritual journey, you need support from your staff also, no?
Okay.
They
Okay.
help you in your business.
Okay. That's a good point. Come on, anybody else? Thank you, Smita. That was a good interpretation. Yes. Shagun, Krishna, Gayatri.
You get distracted on one thing.
Dis-
Too many things going on.
oh, you mean family matters? Distracted by family matters?
Yeah, like family matters, money matters,
Yeah.
and like too many things, and you cannot focus on your spiritual.
Great. Great. That is a great interpretation as well. Thank you. Thank you. This is interesting. Yes. Huh. Cool. Okay. How about someone else pull a card? Take a question and pull a card. Come on. Or you want me to assign you to do that?
Ma'am, I've pulled a card of judgment.
Okay. Judgment reverse for which question? Krishna, which question have you asked?
Just one sec, ma'am. The PDF is not opening.
Okay.
You ask any question, ma'am.
Okay, let's take question 10. How can I handle this situation better the next time? And you pull the judgment reversed. How would you interpret that?
take some time and then take a decision
Mm-hmm.
or give an opinion, and it's all dependent on the place, person, and the thing.
No. You're giving me. Okay, tell me first, what is your interpretation of the judgment card? Look at the card, tell me what it means. Describe the card to me, Krishna. Hello? What happened? कहाँ disappeared हो गए?
Yes, ma'am, here only, ma'am. Sorry, there was a power cut. That is the reason
Okay, sorry,
my
I
Wi-Fi
didn't
was
realize
not
that.
working.
Okay, so describe the card to me. Tell me what's going on in the card.
Ma'am, in that card, there's an angel,
Mm-hmm.
and there are few people who are asking the angel, like, what are their answers? Is it yes? Is it no?
Okay.
Or
Uh-huh.
what is the final answer for them?
Right. And what is the angel doing?
Uh, the angel is standing with a big flute
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, and
He's
with
blowing
the
his,
flag,
yeah,
and all the people are there in the coffin. I guess that's a coffin, right?
right. Okay. So basically, your interpretation is that, this angel is going to make a big decision for these people, and these people are asking him for their answers, right? Now reverse the
Yes,
card.
ma'am.
Reverse the card. Now tell me, apply the reverse interpretation keys. Now, what would be the meaning in the reverse card?
It means that there is no option. There's you have to make your own decision
Mm.
depending on the place,
Mm-hmm.
person, and the thing, and you
Okay.
have to make your own decision.
All right. So they can't wait on that angel to come make a decision. They have to decide for themselves.
Right, ma'am.
Okay. So now let's take that interpretation and look at this question. We had asked the question, how can I handle this situation, whatever that situation is? How can I handle it better the next time? Now we take this interpretation and apply it there. So the next time round, don't wait for someone else to take the decision, just take your own decision. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Would you agree with this interpretation, everybody? Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks, Gayatri. Thank you, Smita. Right. So, you see how we did this? Let's do this process. Let's do this. This is a good process. Let's do this. Instead of just jumping to the interpretation part, let's just randomly pull a card, look at a question, go right from the basics. Okay. So, let's look at the typical question. What is the future of यार मी ace of cups काढत बसते थांब wait. What is the future of my relationship? Mm, okay. Oh, this is a quote card. Hang on. That's the different workshop. What is the future of my relationship? Again, a quote card. Yo. Give me a card. Okay. Okay, this is a good one. Four of Cups reversed. Okay, so here's a question. What is the future of my relationship? And we pull Four of Cups reversed. Who's gonna interpret that for me? Shagun? Shagun, madam, wake up. Or Krishna, you want to interpret?
ma'am. I think everyone should get a chance.
I agree. Shagun, you pull a card if you want from your deck and we will interpret that. Give me 1 second. Let me go get my Osho Zen deck as well. Okay, I got my deck. So the Four of Cups in that deck. That would be water. 3, 4. That's okay. There's a card called Turning In. Shagun, madam? I think she went to sleep or something.
I'm here only.
Okay, good morning. कहाँ disappear हो गया आप? Okay, so let us say, pull this one, the Four of Water, Turning In. Okay. So many times when we do readings for people, many people have a question: what is the future of my relationship? And let's say you pulled this card, but in the reverse. But we are going step by step here. Okay, like how we practice with the Judgment card with Krishna, we're going to do the same thing with the Four of Water, Turning In. Don't worry, I will also do the Rider-Waite card also, so don't worry for the others who have the Rider-Waite deck. So let's do Turning In. Upright. What is going on, Shagun, in this card? Have you got the card in your hand?
Yes, ma'am, I have. So, ma'am, I say when the card is upright, it's an emotion card. So, the lady who is there, he is silent. She's silent completely. She's not listening to the people around her who is trying to influence her. So she is meditating. She's in a state of meditation right now.
Okay. All right. So now we take this meaning. It's that she is basically not listening to all the noises around her, all the people around her, and she is just listening to her inner voice by meditating. Right? Right? Anji?
Yes.
Aha. So abhi, when we make it reversed, what will happen?
Ma'am, can say she's completely surrounded by negative thoughts.
Correct. Correct. So she is unable to focus on her inner calmness by meditating because she is constantly being distracted by all the negative thoughts.
And she is listening to people very much that she cannot focus on her own self and take her own decisions.
Perfect. Right? So now let's apply that to our question, which is what is the future of my relationship? Now we can say, oh, in the future, you are going to be very distracted. You're going to be distracted by all the negative things that other people are saying to you, and you are not going to be putting, you can't completely focus silently or quietly or peacefully. You can't peacefully be in that relationship because you are listening to what other people are telling you, right? And so obviously that's going to create problems in your relationship. Correct? That's how you would interpret it, right? Don't worry, this is not a prediction for anybody. I'm just randomly pulling a card out. Don't get scared. So now let's look at the same card from the Rider-Waite deck. Who wants to do this exercise? Rider-Waite deck, Four of Cups. समझ में आ गया Shagun, but did you understand the process?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. Okay, so it's a little one more step than what we did last time in the upright cards, right? So, Four of Cups, who wants to do that? Or do you want me to do that? Okay, I'll do it. So, Four of Cups. He's sitting there. I'm telling the upright meaning, right? He's sitting under a tree and looking at the three cups, and his hands are folded, and he's like, I don't want any of these three cups. But then from the sky comes the fourth cup, and he's like, should I take it? Should I not take it? Right? So he's unable to make a decision because he just doesn't feel motivated enough to make a choice. In the reversed, there might be hurdles, because even if he wants to now make a choice, he can't, because that cup is now taken away from him, or all these options are going to go away. So now he won't have a choice. Because even if, let's say, in the reverse, he wants to pick a cup, he won't be able to pick a cup because those cups will be taken away from him. That's how I see it. So if I have to apply this to question 4, what is the future of my relationship? I would say
Disappointment.
how disappointment?
Ma'am, if we take the reverse, if
Huh.
we do it in the reverse way,
Uh-huh.
it will be into disappointment. Or if we take into a upright card, it will be, sadness, weakness.
What the hell? Because upright, he's not taking a decision. See, emotions, cups are emotions and feelings. So he is distancing himself. He is not motivated enough to act upon his feelings in the upright position. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, but in the reverse, unfortunately, the situation hasn't gotten better, it's gotten worse, right? Now those options are also not there. Correct? Hmm? So, now that those options are not there, he's going to be in a terrible position, because he can't act upon his feelings, because even whatever he could do before, because he was not acting upon it, he was distancing himself from acting upon it. Now in the reverse card, to wo options bhi nahi hai. He doesn't have any options anymore. So if we take that meaning and apply that to the question, what is the future of my relationship, it's going to be really rough, because whatever options you had before that you were avoiding, now you won't even have those options to act upon your feelings, upon your emotions, to do something positive with this. And looks like your relationship might be in a bit of a trouble. Correct?
Can we say like he's not looking at the positive side of the other person, and he's dreaming about more that is actually not there, and he's expecting more, maybe expecting.
Yeah, but that would be more in the upright position, na? Or reverse madhikasa, how you will apply this.
It will be more more expecting.
Okay, it will get even worse, right? Okay, got you. Okay, yeah. Instead of focusing on what he has with this person, he is focusing on,
Expecting too much from the other person.
yeah. Yeah, that's a great interpretation as well, right? So you see, you have to take it in that context of the question also. Hmm? Okay, hang on. Let me pull another card. Let's look at spread positions for a change. Mm, Nine of Wands. How about this one? Nine of Wands for environment. Here's the Nine of Wands. Can you guys see? Okay, here's the Nine of Wands. And in the environment position, how would you describe the Nine of Wands? He's got all these wands behind him, like a fence or a wall. And he's holding this one wand. And he's got this bandage and everything. So that tells me he has been hurt in the past. and now he's being careful and he's put up all these wands just to protect himself, right? And that, if you put that in the reverse, ah, now you see he's not being protective of himself, right? It's the complete opposite, right? He's not being protective of himself, and despite the fact that he's been hurt in the past, he's not being careful. And now let's apply that to the environment position. So in the environment, you would say, oh, you are in a position, or you are in an area, you're going to be in an environment where maybe you need to protect yourself because you are leaving yourself vulnerable. Hmm? You could be taken advantage of. Does that make sense? How about this as the outcome card? How would you describe this as in the outcome position? Hmm? That this is the outcome of whatever your efforts are. You will see that you will drop all the barriers, you will drop all the protective walls, and maybe, depending on the situation in the entire spread, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, dropping all the barriers that you have put between yourself and the world. And despite all the hurtful experiences you've had in the past, you're going to come back and you're going to say, you know what, that's all right. I'm not going to be protective, I'm not going to push people away, I'm going to just be open to whatever is going on. Make sense? Come on, guys, unmute yourself and talk to me. Okay. All right. Okay. Come on. All right. So I could keep going on and on with this. You guys tell me, you want to practice some more, or you understood the concept? We need to do some more practice. How do you want to take this? I'm here for you.
I tried this one
Mm-hmm.
question. What can I do to find a job that I like?
Aha.
And I got the sun reverse.
Okay. So
So I need
step
to
by
get my
step,
energy.
Kurt. Step by step. Start with the upright and then go reverse. Upright, what is the meaning?
I need to focus, like get the energy level up.
Mm-hmm. What else? What is going on in the sun card? Tell me first.
I can see the kid, so, and that I can totally relate to.
Right. And the kid is riding a horse and he's being all playful and stuff, right?
And he's riding my life.
Your kids are riding your life. True. Very true. That is what is going on right now, isn't it? But let's bring it to the context, right? The context is you want to know how you can find a job, right?
Yeah.
So the card is maybe guiding you to be like a child. Hmm? And be adventurous and all that.
Or to start new things, or
Mm-hmm. Why not? Now, but this is when the card is upright, Gayatri. So if the card comes up reversed, like this guy, what would you say?
so don't
It's a
start
negative energy.
Uh-huh.
use the past experience. Don't start anything new.
Okay, that's a good interpretation.
Feeling bad about yourself.
But how does it how about applying to the context of the question, which is how can I find a job that I like? That's the question.
You need to get
You need to be
Sorry, go ahead.
You need to
Okay,
get the energy level up.
okay, that's a good one. Krishna, you have something to say?
Yes, ma'am. You need to be positive, and
Mm,
that's you should be happy. You should be the joy,
mm,
growth in yourself.
okay. So be positive, be joyful. You right now, maybe in your job search, you're not being, this guy, this son, he's also very adventurous, isn't he? He likes to take, he likes to see everything in life as an adventure. So maybe you need to be adventurous in your job search.
Mhm.
Try something unconventional and different than maybe, you know, personally, I look at the sun card reverse and maybe it tells me after summer.
Yeah. It's a winter card.
Like, because in
Yes.
summer the sun is not out so much, it's not as bright, that sort of thing. So that, this is just a feeling I got. Like, if you pull this card out uh, to ask about, the job thing, then I have in terms of timing, I just got a feel that, okay, try after summer, after the summer is over, and you might find something interesting after summer.
And ma'am, for the same question, I pulled up a card,
Hmm.
and this is for a participation card.
Participation, that's the four of fire, right?
Fine. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what's your interpretation?
So, ma'am, as the card is saying, it's a participation card. So, I think with a partnership or of something, or maybe with the help of somebody, I can get a job.
Okay, so like a group effort.
Like a group effort, or maybe a friend or someone who is near to me. If I ask them for a help, maybe they can help me.
Sure. Okay, but how would you interpret that if the card was reversed though?
So, ma'am, if I see the card in reverse position, that means there is no participation. So I have to fight for myself, or
Yes.
maybe
No.
after after putting all the efforts, I can get a job.
Yeah, but again, you might not get help from other people, so that's the block. You'll that's the interpretation key you would apply is blockage, right? There's blockage from other people helping you, so you'll have to do it on your own.
No family
Ma'am,
support.
somehow the card seems similar to me. Like from upside down, it's same.
In your Osho Zen deck.
The card is there are four people touching each other hand, but
Hmm.
the card is same somehow upside down as well.
Yes, yes, I have it here.
Rotating it like in reverse is
Yeah, in the reverse also, it sort of gives the same vibe, isn't it? Intriguing, pretty intriguing. Then maybe you could apply, say, delays or hurdles, maybe that kind of a key. So you might receive help, but little delayed.
okay.
That I'm just practicing, using reverse meanings, right? Hmm. Okay. Which one? Which one? Which one do you want to try next? How about why did this happen to me? Huh? ये मेरे साथ क्यों हुआ? Why did this happen? Let me pull a random card for this.
But for that, we have to think of something which the thing which has done to us like a bad things.
No, we are just practicing, Shabun. We are just saying, okay, what whatever it is that that happened, let's ask. It could be a good thing also, right? It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. Something happened, you just want to know, why did it happen to me? Why did I go through this experience? And oh, intriguing, I pulled the 10 of Wands reversed.
I got the lovers.
Sorry?
I got the lovers.
Oh, you got the Lover's card. Okay, that's fun. Okay, let's interpret the let's interpret the Lover's card then. Let me find that in my in my deck. So why did this happen to me? You got the Lover's card. Go ahead, Gayatri. Tell me what's your interpretation. Okay, first let's start with the Lover's card. What do you see is going on in there, and tell me about the Lover's card. What's going on in the Lover's card?
Tied up. They're tied up by the angel or devil, whoever behind them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the angel is blessing them.
They're blessed with God.
Okay, right?
There is marriage, there is commitment, there's love, support.
Okay. So this card is all about a very good relationship, correct? That is blessed by the angel, that has commitment, that support, and all that good stuff, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put it reverse then, just for the sake of this exercise. What happens in the reverse now?
There's a huge breakup.
Mm-hmm.
There's disrespect. The God is not. You've been blessed by God.
Okay.
There's a sexual relationship.
Okay. Okay, so basically, reverse, you can say this relationship is not working, it's breaking up, or it's a purely, very, very surface level relationship. It's not a deep relationship. Okay? Gayatri, do you have anything to add?
Imbalance, like
Yeah, imbalance between the interpersonal interaction. Yes, yes, absolutely. Shagun?
Ma'am, for the same question, I got the patience card reverse.
Okay. Wait, hang on. Let's do it one by one, okay? Let's interpret one by one. Okay? Okay. So let's see for the Lovers card, in why did this happen to me? Lovers reversed. Let's apply this interpretation, right? Breakup, or an unequal interpersonal relationship, right? How do you take this interpretation and apply this to the question? Why did this happen to me? It happened to me because maybe there was an unequal or an imbalance in the interpersonal relationship, right? Between, so now again, this is not, sorry. Yes, go on.
Ma'am, they're not true to each other.
Okay, okay.
miscommunication.
Yes, right. So now you're understanding lovers is not always about, I mean, it really depends what the situation is that you're asking about. It if it is not about like a romantic relationship also, and you pull a card which is so decidedly about a romantic relationship, but this card is about a relationship. It's about communication, it's about an interpersonal relationship between two people, right? So you can tone down that level, and you can still understand what it's trying to say. So if we come to this question again, why did this happen to me? It happened because there was an imbalance in the communication between the two people, or there was a miscommunication, or there was a misunderstanding, and that created the breakup. Agree?
It can be situation, right? Like
Sorry?
it can be any situation.
Yes, absolutely. But let's say for the fun sake now, we get this card upright, right? And the question is, why did this happen to me? Because you were meant to meet this person, You were meant to connect with this person. There is some kind of a karmic connection.
Mutual relationships.
Sorry?
There's a mutual understanding between them.
Yes. Right? So upright, this was meant to happen, kind of a thing. Agree?
Yes.
Hey, okay. Now Shagun, let's look at your card. What was your card?
Ma'am, seven of rainbows. Patience
Seven of
card.
Wands. Patience. Okay, so why did this happen to me? Patience. Okay.
What card is that in
Okay, here we
reversal?
go. This is Seven of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite. And this is how it looks in the Osho's End deck. Okay, we're gonna interpret it as if we got it reversed. Okay, and then we're gonna apply that to the question. Okay, Shagun.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So let's see first upright. What this card basically means is patience. It means, taking your time. We see a woman, we see the cycles of the moon up in the sky. We see this pregnant woman also. She's patiently waiting for when she can maybe give birth. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So reverse, what would be the meaning?
Ma'am, if you see the card in reverse, I can see that the lady is not smiling.
Hmm.
Maybe she is upset. Maybe she is not enjoying the moment right now.
Hmm.
Maybe she is unhappy with the things going around her because there is moon. The moon is changing. So maybe whatever thing is happening around her, she is not enjoying, or she is not happy, or the eyes are also closed. So maybe she doesn't want to see the happiness around her.
Okay.
If we see the card like upside, so there are flowers. But if we see in the reverse, maybe flowers means happiness. So if
Hmm.
we see in the reverse, so she is not enjoying things, or maybe she is not. Uh,
So she's not able to enjoy this whole process of waiting. Can we say that?
yes, ma'am.
She needs peace.
Hmm. Right? So she is not enjoying the process of waiting. She needs to be peaceful in her mind in order to enjoy whatever is going on. Right? So now let's come to the question, why did this happen to me? It happened to you because you are not enjoying the process. You're not being patient with the way things are going. You're not really being in the moment. Maybe you're being too much of, maybe you're being in a hurry.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm? And if you were to now interpret this as upright, why is this happening to me? It's happening to you because, some things take time. You need to wait. You need to wait for it to properly mature before it happens, before it manifests. Right?
Hmm.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah.
Ma'am, but it is also showing us that the lady is a strong lady. This is why it is happening with her, because she is so strong, and only she can. We can see that she is pregnant. So maybe she has that ability to give birth to a baby, or her hands are also
Hmm.
strong. So maybe she is so strong to handle the situation. That is why the situation is
Yeah.
bad only.
It's happening to her because she has the ability to handle it. Right? Correct? Say something.
What the that means?
Sorry?
How to interpret the flowers in the picture in the reverse?
Well, like you said, flowers for you, they are a symbol of happiness and joy, right? Flowering, correct? So in the reverse, it would mean that there are some problems, there are some hurdles in the flowering, right? They can't bloom like they would before because something is stopping them or preventing them from blooming. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Ma'am, if a lady asks like, "Will I be pregnant?" and if this card comes out, so what will be the interpretation for this then?
The seven of rainbows.
Yes.
Well, yeah, sure, she'll get pregnant, but she needs to be patient. It's gonna take some time,
Okay.
right? Now, if especially if this card comes up upright, that's what it means, right? Because see that the sense of the meaning of this card is that you need to be patient. Things will happen in their own sweet time. Correct?
Ma'am, and how you'll describe the moon then?
The phases of the moon, these are the phases of the moon, right? So in the sky also, the moon goes through all these phases. So you can see from new moon to full moon, and then full moon to new moon. You see all the phases happening, and all this takes about a month. Correct? Usually, correct, in a month you have the full moon and the new moon. So I wouldn't use, I don't know if intuitively you're guided to use this as a time frame, so you can say maybe it'll take a month. But if you're not intuitively guided, you can just look at the symbolism of it, right? Everything takes its own time to mature, ripen, and grow. And in the same way, even this lady is pregnant. Even if, let's say, she wants to be pregnant and have the baby tomorrow, that's not how it's going to work. It's going to take the whole 9 months
Right.
for her to go through the whole thing, and then she will be able to give birth. So what all the symbolism is trying to convey is that you need to take some time. It will take you sustained patient efforts to get what you want, and it's going to happen when it is supposed to happen. So you can't rush this process, and you can't push this process, and you can't get away from this process. It's going to take as long as it takes. So that's why you need to be patient. Things will bloom, flowers will bloom, you will get pregnant, you will have the baby. All of this will happen in its own sweet time. You just need to be present in the moment as and when it happens, and allow for the manifestation to take place when the time is right. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this is the answer if this card is upright. But if this card is reversed and your lady is asking you a question about, when will I get pregnant, how will you answer this, Krishna? Or Shagun, someone tell me. Krishna,
Ma'am, we will say that you have to wait for some time. Maybe there are some concerns or problem related to the pregnancy. Maybe she's suffering from that kind of problem.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
say that definitely, that there are hurdles. So what I would, yes, what I would also say is like upright, if it is going to take a certain amount of time, reverse tells me it's going to take a lot more time than what you thought.
Almost a year.
Okay.
Mm.
Right, it's going to take longer than you thought, and maybe there are also other hurdles. Maybe there are medical things that you also need to check. Maybe it's not just about the passage of time. Maybe there are other medical issues that you need to address before you get to that point.
Yes,
Sorry, does that make sense?
yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So reverse cards, they really add value when they show up in a spread, to be honest. They really make you look, right? That's the whole point of the reverse cards, is that they are like, okay, wait, something's not quite right here. And that's where you know, okay, something needs to be fixed here, something needs to be done here. And I think that's the whole point with reverse cards. So don't look at them as the enemy. They're actually your friend in a reading, right? Because they are there to show you exactly what you need to work on instead of getting distracted by other things, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's look at the card I pulled. Why did this situation happen to me? And I ended up pulling the 10 of Wands reversed. What's the meaning of the 10 of Wands upright?
Focused.
Mm-hmm. Focused on what?
Totally. Yes.
A lot of these wands, right? He's holding all these wands and he's only focused on all the weight that he is carrying. Look, his back is bent, right? Ten of Wands is all about being focused on the burdens, maybe of work or other things, that responsibilities, maybe even that he's carrying.
Tired.
Right,
He's
fire.
tired.
Yeah, that's why work, right? So in the reverse, oops, in the reverse, those burdens are going to fall off, correct? He's going to now feel the release of those burdens. His burdens are going to drop down and he's going to be able to look at the world around him. So, why did this situation happen to me? It happened because I was supposed to let go of all the burdens that I'm carrying and focus on the world, enjoy what's going on around me. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
In this case, the reverse card is more positive than the upright card.
There you go. And that's also a good point, that not all the time the reverse card is negative. There are, like in the even in our presentation, in the Nine of Swords card, right? Nine of Swords upright is scary, but reverse is better, isn't it?
Ma'am, this happens same with the Tower.
Hmm. Absolutely. So you see, reverse cards are not your enemy. Right? They are your friends. They are actually a very important component of the reading because they will make you stop and look, and you know exactly where the problems are. You don't have to hunt for them. You know exactly where they are. Again, of course, it depends. Like if you have cards like, say, the Ten of Wands or Ten of Swords coming up reverse, then you know exactly where your problems are going to be resolved, right? Or where your burdens are going to be reduced. So again, those cards, by the mere fact of showing up reversed, are making you pause and look at them, and that is their main purpose, right? So don't shy away from them or be scared of them. Embrace them, like they are your friends, and they are your friends. They're showing up that way so that you take a second look at that point to say, okay, maybe this needs more attention, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. So you guys want to practice some more, or are we okay to end our session at this point?
Ma'am, I have few questions, ma'am.
Oh yeah.
Ma'am, what is your way to spread the card? Like you choose any one card, or you let the other guy choose any card?
Okay. So when I'm doing readings for people, it really depends. Most of the times, especially now COVID time, I'm only doing the readings for them. So I pull the card for my client. But let's say there's a face-to-face reading, and the client is there, then I ask my client. Now this is what I started doing. I ask them if they want to pull the cards. If they're comfortable doing that, then I let them pull the cards. uh, or otherwise I pull for them. Sometimes there are rare occasions where I feel that no, I'll only pull the cards for them, and those are occasions where I somehow maybe sense that the client is getting too emotional about whatever is going on in his life, his or her life. And so maybe I don't know, it depends, to be honest. It really depends on how I feel, especially when we're talking, if we're talking one-on-one kind of readings. It really depends on how I feel. And then accordingly I just say, no, I'll pull the cards, or I'll let the client pull the cards. If I'm pulling the cards, I just add the additional affirmation in my opening prayer that please guide me to pull the right cards for my client, and I just go with that.
Okay, ma'am.
So But yeah, like I said, if I am doing a reading which is like an audio recording reading or a Skype reading, or when the client is basically not in front of me, I have no choice but pull the cards for the client. Correct?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
and at one time, how many, in one spread, how
Mm-hmm.
many questions, how many cards we can pick up?
It really depends on the spread, right? If you have a very specific spread, then you know how many cards you have to pick up for that spread. But if your question is how many questions can you answer with one spread, then usually it's that one question that you have asked, that is the what gets answered by that spread. So if you have another question, then most times you would have to pull another spread.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, go
Ma'am,
ahead.
there is a card, the Master card, ma'am, which is the 79th card in the Ocean Center.
Yes,
So,
this one.
ma'am, I just want to know, yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
So, I just want to know what is the meaning of this card in reversal?
Oh boy. Okay. Honestly, Shagun, I don't use this card in my readings, because I feel that this he it, they kind of place it after the world card, right? So, well, if you were just to look at it by itself, the master here in this particular card, we have a picture of Osho on this, but here the master would be someone who's your spiritual master, who guides you, teaches you, shows you the path on your spiritual journey. So in the reverse, how would you apply it? You would say, oh, maybe he's misguiding you, maybe he's a false master, or maybe he's unable to guide you, he's unable to teach you what he needs to teach you, or maybe you are not understanding what he's trying to say, right? Does that make sense?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So you can just play with this. This is what I want you guys to do. I'm going to give you some homework today. I want all of you to go home. I mean, you all are already at home. So after this, after this presentation is over, I want all of you to, whenever you all have some time, sit down with your cards, look at these questions that are there in the handout, because these 10 questions and these 10 spread positions that I have put in there are your typical common questions that, let's say, if you went out and started reading for the people, or even if you went out and started getting a reading from someone, these would be the questions that get asked most often, right? People want to know about their jobs and careers, they want to know about their relationships, and on the rare occasion they want to learn about their spiritual path. Sometimes they want to know, what's going on, why did this happen to me, how am I supposed to deal with this. So all those are the questions that I have put there, and so this will give you great practice. I want you guys to sit with your deck, okay, and just pull a card. You can go one by one, in order, or you can just mix your cards and pick any card that you like, whatever works for you. And then, like I've said here, pick any two from each section and practice interpreting the card. Okay, do it for upright, do it for reverse. So even if you get the upright card, interpret the question and the spread position, then do it in the reverse. I want you to do this exercise. You can pick two, you can pick more than two, as much as you want, or just start with doing two in one day, and keep doing this exercise all the time. Okay, this is the homework I want you to do. Will that be okay?
Yes.
Cool. Because this is going to be a very interesting and challenging process. Yes, Shagun, thank you. Because this will really help you. This is like good practice, and this will really, hone it for you. So, all that you have learned in these sessions, you can apply it, and you can really, really go further with it. This is your homework. And also, if you have any questions, any queries, any doubts, anything at all, I will say please just email me all your questions, all your doubts. If you say, okay, I've come up with this interpretation, ma'am, have a look at it, fine. Message me, Facebook me, whatever works for you. Get in touch, and eventually I will reply. So if I'm busy with something, then I may not reply right away. But if the next moment I have, I will reply to you and I will get back to you. Okay? All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is great. Cool. So, I hope you guys had a good time today.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank
Yes, ma'am.
you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're very welcome. I had a great time too. I've started recording this right from the beginning using this different software I have. Thank you, Smita. Thank you for attending. And I'm gonna just make a video of this, and I'm gonna put that up on my YouTube. So if you guys wanna have a refresher, you wanna go over the video all over again, and maybe you wanna see the slides that you all missed out earlier, all of that got recorded. You can go, and I'll put it up on my YouTube. So if you guys are not subscribed to my YouTube, let me put the link to my YouTube channel. Okay, here's the link to my YouTube channel in the chat. So go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and make sure you click on that notification thing, so the moment this video goes live, or you guys will be up, notified, and then you can go take a look. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That is great. Great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are great. I will see you guys again in my next session. Next Thursday, we are going to talk about court cards. You guys excited for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Is it time?
Yeah, same time like today. Okay? All right. Yes, Smita, yes. Court cards. That's another one that people are usually scared of. There's no need to be scared of court cards. I will see you guys again next week, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Bye, Madhvi. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Smita. Thanks for coming.
खूप छान झालं सेशन.
Thank you. Hey, Ryoga. Bye. Thank you. Okay.